Hello everybody. Today we are going to be looking at building some nesting apple boxes. These are normally used in the film industry or anywhere else where you want to create some different height purposes. Most of the wood I had pre-cut just to save a little bit on time, and I was just trimming off some of the edges that wasn't exactly how I wanted them to be. Here I am marking out the centers for the side pieces, from which I will be drilling out some holes and to make handles for the different boxes, as you will see just now. I pre-drilled the hole beforehand, before using the spade bit. The reason for that is to make sure that the bit does not wander off in the beginning and stay on the right spot from the start. What I'm doing with the drill is I'm slowly rocking the drill forwards and backwards, and not a lot, just slightly, and that basically helps for the drill to cut better. You can also see I've clamped the piece that I'm drilling on top of another piece. That is just to prevent tear out at the bottom, so that when the drill comes out it doesn't destroy the backside of the wood. Now I'm just marking the line where I want to cut to open up the handle piece. This is not the best way to do it, but it's the only tool that I had to be able to do it quickly and to get a nice clean cut. I used the radial arm saw and I tightened everything up so that it can't move, and then I basically slowly lowered the blade into the wood to basically cut a nice straight line on the line that I've drawn. And but yeah, this is quite dangerous, not the ideal way of doing it. And then I'm just using the jigsaw to cut through the piece that wasn't cut by the saw itself, making sure that I stay inside the line that I've cut so nicely. Then I'm just routing the edges to make it nice and round and for better grip when handling the boxes. Okay, so now I'm gluing up the first piece. The first one is basically two pieces of plywood that I'm just gluing together. The boxes are divided up into two equal parts. The smallest one, which is the two pieces that I'm gluing now, is basically on the ratio of 1, and then there's another one that's going to be a ratio of 2, and then 4, and the biggest one will be 8. And when stacking them together, you can adjust them and mix them up, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after that, if you've got more boxes, you can also stack more on top of each other to create even higher heights. I'm just using normal wood glue and just clamping them together and making sure everything is nice and aligned. This is the second box, the number 2 box, and still using the glue. And then I'm just using pre-drilling the holes beforehand to prevent unnecessary cracking, and using screws to fix everything together. These boxes are just made of normal laminated pine plywood. I try to align all the edges nicely so that I don't have to do much sanding afterwards, and to try and get everything nice and smooth. Now I am just using some pine wood filler, and that is basically just to cover up the holes that I made from the screws. Once dried, it will be sanded off and it'll give a nice and smooth surface. This is the third box that I'm building. It's the number 4 box. It's just using the same process to build the whole thing. I'm using the clamp just as an extra hand to keep it nice and tight while I fasten the screws. The clamps I'm using there in the middle is just there to help clamp the middle piece of wood inside. Now I'm making a rebate for the lid to slide into. I'm just doing a rebate on the top and the bottom, and you will see in a minute it just slides in and closes the box. This is the big box that all the other boxes will fit inside, and also just using the same techniques to fix everything together. Once again using a clamp to hold everything together while I fasten the screws. Okay, so now I'm just sanding off all the wood filler that I've put in the holes to cover up the screws, and then just giving the whole thing a little bit of a good sand, and making sure all the edges are nice and smooth and the corners are round. Just making sure there's no sharp edges and pieces sticking out that can catch you and give you a nasty cut. I'm using a product Wood Dog, and it's a marine sealer, so it's ideal for outside use. These boxes might be used inside, outside, so I wanted to make sure that they are sealed nicely so that they're not going to absorb any moisture over time. The big box I've only painted on the outside, and the inside I just used a wax polish to smoothen it out on the inside. That is just to help the boxes on the inside slide in and out easily. And here you can see the end product. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel and support me through that way, and please like and share. Thank you.